a quick snapshot of the tools I used for this whole project. A pair of wood clamps, and you want wood clamps that have this part of the clamp to be rather shallow. You don't want something with a really big C on it or something really deep. So a pair of those are going to be required. A hammer, obviously the proper wrench to get your lugs off. Flathead screwdriver does come in handy, maybe not required, but handy. A 12 mil ratchet and an 18 mil socket as well. I also needed a breaker bar, and actually I put this pipe onto the breaker bar to get enough leverage to break a couple of the bolts loose, just because the caliper bolts were on rather tight. And a pair of gloves is going to be helpful as well. But that's all the tools you really need for this job. Of course, a jack to get the front of the vehicle off the ground. One of the things that's really, really helpful is to turn the wheels to the opposite direction from the side you're working on. So I'm working on the passenger side, and I turned it to the left. And that gives me access to these two bolts a lot better than I had before. So I was able to get both those 18 mil bolts loosened, and I did have to use a breaker bar on those to get them broke free. But once those were broke free, I was able to go ahead and get both those bolts removed. And again, with the caliper turned to the outside, you have a lot better access to do this. It's 1,000 times easier to get those bolts out and just to work on the calipers in general with the wheel turned that direction. Now I need to go ahead and remove this 12 millimeter bolt right here. And this is basically just holding the brake line onto the A-arm here. So we're going to go ahead and pop that loose with a 12 millimeter socket. So that comes out. And then once that's loose, I can then go ahead and remove the entire caliper assembly and kind of move it over off the side out of the way. But you want that free so that the whole caliper can rotate off to the side. All right, at this point, we're ready to go and pull these calipers off. So those slide off, and then you can kind of tuck those out of the way. You can usually get them to balance right over here on the lower part of your A-arm. And now I'm ready to pull this rotor off. Now, if your rotor's been on a while, it's probably kind of stuck on there a little. So grab yourself a hammer and tap in between the lugs, not on the surface of the rotor, but just in between the lugs on the surface there. And just a few taps, and you can kind of rotate as you go along here. And that should typically will loosen your rotor up. Now again, you don't want to hit the surface of the rotor if you're planning to reuse your rotors. I'm actually swapping mine out, but after you tap that a few times, you'll see some brake dust fall off and the rotor will just slide right off. This next step is actually easier done with the caliper kind of back in its original position, but with the rotor removed. So I'm kind of setting the caliper right back in place, and I'm just putting the top bolt in, and I just need to thread it in by hand. I don't need to like tighten it in, and I don't need to put the bottom bolt in easier. But we're going to be working on these pads and removing the pads, putting the new pads in. We're going to be compressing the pistons, and all of that's done a lot easier with this thing just held right here in place. So go ahead and put your calipers back in so we can start working on these pads. I've moved over to the driver's side here because I did this a lot better my second time, and so I figured I'd just show you this side. Effectively, what we need to do is we need to spread the caliper pistons as far apart as we can in order to fit the new pads because they're a lot thicker than the old ones. And I'm using these wood clamps to do that. You can also use a caliper spreader tool if you have one. But before you even take any of the old pads out, you can use those along with these clamps, and you can see how I've just clamped on both sides of the caliper, and all I've done is pulled those pads all the way in as far as they can go. Again, a set of wood clamps works totally fine for this. If you have caliper spreaders, great. But do this before you even undo any of the springs or any of that stuff. Just spread those two old pads as far apart as possible, and you'll need a set of clamps or spreaders in order to do that. So in getting the new pads ready, I basically just have these as a pair, right? That's going to go in the caliper as such. So I'll just set those off to the side, and I'll go ahead and work on getting these old pads pulled out of the calipers. Now, once you've compressed those pistons, you're ready to go ahead and remove the old pads. And there's two springs involved. This long skinny spring is holding the two pins in place. And so you can use your fingers or maybe a flathead screwdriver and get rid of that spring on the side. Now this spring in the middle, right? This bottom one is kind of holding that pin that I just slid out. And then there's a spring or a pin in the top. But I want you to pay attention to this spring down in the middle, this spreading spring, and note the orientation, because you're going to have to put the replacement one back in the exact same way. So pay attention to that before you remove these. If either of the pins get stuck, you can just grab a pair of pliers and slide the pin out. And once those pins are both out, these pads will just slide right on out, just like that. And that's really all you need to do to remove the old pads from your calipers. All right, now we're ready to go ahead and start installing the new pads, and we're going to use this lubricant. And what we want to do is we want to put lubricant on the little holes in the corners of the new pads, which is where those pins are going to slide through. So grab your little lubricant pack. Be very careful not to get any lubricant on the pad itself, but you can see how we want to lubricate those corners. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and start sliding these new pads in. Now, these are not side specific, right? They're the pads can go on either the right or the left, but lubricate those corners up good, and then go ahead and slide your pads into place facing each other. Okay, it's okay if they do that for a minute. Now this clip, this is one of the clips that comes with the kit. I don't know if you can see the orientation. I have this side kind of towards the pad. Okay, so orientation wise, hopefully you can see that this middle part should be lower than the rest. And where this is gonna go, try and do this without touching the pads themselves too much. So I'm gonna put it in, there's these two holes, one on that side, one on that side. I'm gonna put it in the hole there, and then compress it together and put it in the hole on that side. So you can see that the little metal spring sits right on top there, and that should give us a spot to push the pin through and kind of hook this clip. So that's what we're going to do now. Let's take this pin, goes through, we're gonna, yep, some lube on it is fine, and I'm going all the way through like so. We'll orientate that properly for the next clip in a minute, but that's the clip that needs to be in place right there. And there's only one on this side, nothing on the top. And then the next clip is this clip right here, or this spring. We'll put that on in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and add the second pin up on top like so. Okay, again, we might need to rotate those, but this spring clip has this little guy in the middle, and it goes in this center hole, kind of rotates towards the inside of the caliper, and then I'm going to take the end of it. My goal is to get the end of both ends through these two pins, right? So we might have to rotate those pins to the proper orientation, but I'm going to Slide that in, and then just use a little bit of muscle here and try and muscle that. You might have to, again, rotate that correctly so it slides into place, and we'll do the same on the bottom. Now that we have the pads installed in the calipers, we're ready to pull the calipers back out of the way one more time so that we can go ahead and install our new rotor. Now do pay attention to these rotors. They are side specific if you get these vented and slotted ones. So it has a little label on there that says it's the passenger side. Once that rotor has slid back over the lugs, you can slide your calipers with the new pads over the rotors, and then reinstall those two 18 mil bolts on the backside. Make sure you thread them in by hand. They should go in most of the way by hand before you grab your ratchet and snug those down about as tight as you can with your ratchet. There's probably a torque spec for these. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but I just tighten them as much as I possibly could. And you can see how much thicker the new pads are. So we just had enough clearance for those rotors. And now we're ready to reinstall our brake line holder. This little brake line holder is pretty self-explanatory, but just put that back in place, thread this 12 mil bolt in by hand, and then when you're done, go ahead and grab your ratchet and snug that thing all the way back down. And now we can go ahead and reinstall the wheel. Everything else is done, so we're just gonna wheel our tire and rim back into place, get that thing all up in there, and put it back on the lugs. Make sure you do thread your lugs on by hand before you use any type of wrench, so you don't cross thread any of those or strip those, and make sure you are tightening those in a proper star pattern. But other than that, you are good to go with this side, and now you just have to repeat the process on the other side. All right, so when it comes to bedding in, there are some steps here that you need to do. And bedding in your brakes is basically a process of braking but not completely stopping at different intervals from different speeds. So just follow these directions. Don't skip this step and just think you're done and you're good. What you want to do is bed some of the material off of your new brake pads onto the rotors. And that's the same whether you're doing new rotors or if you're doing using your old rotors with just new pads. You want to do this process of bedding in your brake pads regardless. It's very important. Don't skip this step. All right, that's it. Pretty easy to do overall. This process should be the same for the 2007 all the way through the 2021 Tundras. It's a pretty easy brake swap, whether you're doing pads or pads and rotors. Either way, it's not a very hard job to do. Hopefully this was helpful. If you found it helpful, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.